Hello everybody, this is Pastor Green. We're doing another Bible study, Exodus chapter 25. If you'd like me to come speak at your church, or if you have any questions, you can email me at godsohman@gmail.com. If you have any questions, you can also just comment below. So today we're going to start talking about the tabernacle. And today specifically we're going to be talking about the furniture inside the tabernacle. The tabernacle is actually a really interesting thing. God told them exactly where to put the tabernacle compared to the rest of the camp. God told, I want these people to be on the north side, these people to be on the east side, south side, west side, the Levites in the middle, where Moses' family going to live. And I don't think people really understood that when you look at it from the sky, it makes the shape of a cross. I think that's God, foreseeing things for everybody. You get to see that actually the tabernacle forms the shape of a cross when you see it from up above. So we're going to talk about the tabernacle. This is the inside of the tabernacle. And the tabernacle's got the altar burnt offerings, the bronze lever, then the tabernacle itself, which has a table of showbread, the golden lampstand, altar of incense, and the Ark of the Covenant. Exodus 25 gives the instructions for building of the tabernacle, the ark, the table of showbread, and the lampstand. And most experts seem to agree that shittim wood is acacia wood. And acacia wood is extremely beautiful wood. They use a lot in making tables and also wood flooring. So we're going to start in Exodus 25 verse 1. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speaking to the children of Israel, that they might bring me an offering. Of every man that giveth his willingly from his heart, ye shall take my offering. And if you remember in the Exodus, when they were leaving Egypt, they went to other neighbors and said, "Hey, we're leaving. Will you give us an offering? Will you give us some gold or silver or something?" So they had all this gold, silver, and bronze that the Egyptians actually gave them. And this is the offering which you shall take of them: gold, silver, and brass, and a blue, purple, and scarlet, and fine linen, and goat's hair. And it's really interesting they said blue, purple, and scarlet because, sometimes colors just go together. And you'll find out actually that blue, purple, and scarlet are actually part of this thing called a Fibonacci sequence. They're just colors that just go together. And the Fibonacci sequence was named by a man who's Leonard Pasanto. They called him Fibonacci. And when he found out that if you take, starting with 0, the first number is 1, you take 0 plus 1, you're going to get 1. So you're going to take 1 plus 1, you're going to get 2. 2 plus 1, you're going to get 3. You're going to add the numbers together. And they found out that when you took the larger number divided by the one before it, you're going to get a number of 1.618. So, 5 and 3 is going to be 1.667 basically, and 5 and 8 is going to be 1.6. 13 and 8 is going to be 1.625. You're always going to get this 1.6 number. And even when you add it even further, you still get the 1.6 number. It's just an amazing sequence. And if you take the larger number divided by the smaller number, you're going to get the 1.6 number. If you take the smaller number and divide it into the larger number, you're going to get 0.6. So it's just really interesting how these numbers work together. And if you take you take some blocks and you start doing this with the Fibonacci sequence, you actually start getting a spiral. And this right here is a chambered nautilus. And the chambered nautilus, the shell actually follows the Fibonacci sequence. You can see on the inside it starts really small and it gets bigger, and it follows the Fibonacci sequence. And if you start studying the Fibonacci sequence, you'll be amazed at what you're going to find. The shells are just a mathematical phenomenon. It's actually called like the golden rule or the golden measurement or something like that. And it's just amazing how these things come together. You ever looked at somebody and thought that person's beautiful? Well, they found out that if the eyes are a certain distance apart, and the nose of the eyes is a certain distance apart, and the nose of the mouth, the mouth of the eyes, all these different things are a certain distance apart, you consider them beautiful. You ever looked at somebody and said, I don't know, their eyes look a little too far apart from each other, or their nose looks a little bit too high or too low? Because we just instinctively know when we see somebody, the closer they are to the Fibonacci sequence, the more beautiful they seem to be. Even the length of the human fingers. He goes 2, 3, 5, 8. Even penguins, the eyes, the beak, the wings, the body markings, they all follow these golden ratios of the Fibonacci sequence. The key feature structures of a tiger also fall during the Fibonacci sequence. And ants' body sections are defined in the Fibonacci sequence. Even in the Great Pyramid, these people knew all about the Fibonacci sequence. And when they're doing Greek architecture, you can see that it follows the Fibonacci sequence as well. All these different things are considered beautiful to the eye, and we don't even understand it because our eyes are just normally just in tune with this Fibonacci sequence. And I'm not going to go too in depth of it. I just wanted to show you a couple examples. So Exodus 25:4, and blue, purple, and scarlet. These colors, if you look at the top right there, they just seem to kind of go good together. And ram skin dyed red, and badger skin, and shittim wood. Oil for the lights, spices, anointed oil, and for sweet incense. Onyx stone and stones to be set in the ephod and the breastplate. And let them make a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. You see, God wants to have a place that He could dwell with you. God wants to be in your heart. He wants to dwell inside of you. But a lot of people look at God as just this like genie, where, hey God, you could stay in my closet, or you could be in this room over here, and I'll call you whenever I need you. See, God wants to be a part of you. God wants to dwell among you. According to all that I show thee, after the pattern of the tabernacle and the pattern of the instruments thereof, even so shalt thou make it. So God's saying, I'm going to tell you what to do, and you're going to make it. And they shall make an ark of shittim wood. 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and a cubit and a half the breadth thereof, and a cubit the half of the length thereof. And if you're wondering, a cubit is around 18 inches. It's basically the length of your middle finger down to your elbow, and that's basically what a cubit is. There's a lot of different pictures of what the ark could have looked like. Nobody really honestly knows, but there's a lot of different ideas of what it's supposed to look like. And then shall overlay it with pure gold within, and without shall thou overlay it, and it shall be made of a crown of gold around it. So basically, you're supposed to take this shittim wood, and you're supposed to make the ark with the shittim wood, but you're supposed to plate the whole entire thing with pure gold. And it's supposed to have a crown of gold around it, so it's going to be like if you look around the thing, like this little like bed sheet that goes around it, like a decorative pattern. And they shall cast 4 rings for gold in it, and put them in the 4 corners thereof. And 2 rings should be on one side of it, and 2 rings the other side of it. And this so you could put a beam inside of it, so it's easy to be carried. And they shall make staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold. So you're going to take these 2 sticks to put inside the ark, and you're going to wrap those as gold as well. And they shall put it in the staves and the rings of the sides of the ark, that the ark shall be borne with them. So the sticks always stay in there. The staves shall be in the rings of the ark, and they shall not be taken from it. So these little sticks are always going to be inside the ark. So at any moment, at any notice, you can just pick up the ark and take off. And they shall put it in the ark of the testimony, which I shall give thee. So they're saying, inside this ark, you're going to put the 10 commandments that He's going to give to you. And they shall make a mercy seat of pure gold. 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and a cubit and a half the breadth thereof. So these 2 angels that are touching are going to be looking down at the mercy seat. And throughout the rest of the Bible, they're going to talk about this mercy seat. It goes to the gospel, because these 2 angels, all they care about is that there's blood applied. They don't care about anything else. All they care is that when they see the blood, they know that it's good. And if you remember the Exodus, they put blood on the doorposts. Angels came by, they saw the blood, they just kept going. And they shall make 2 cherubims of gold, of beaten work shall they make them, in the 2 ends of the mercy seat. And make 1 cherubim on one end, and the other cherubim on the other end. Even in the mercy seat shall they make the cherubims on the 2 ends thereof. And the cherubims shall stretch forth their wings on high, covering the mercy seat with their wings. And their faces shall look to one another towards the mercy seat, shall the faces of the cherubims be. So they're going to have these wings going basically in a circle, and they're going to be touching, and their faces are going to be looked right down at the mercy seat. And later you're going to see when their sacrifices happen, you sprinkle the blood on the ark, and blood's going to pool right there where the mercy seat is. And thou shalt put a mercy seat above the ark, and the ark shall be in the ark thou shalt be the testimony that I shall give thee. Again, we're going to put 10 commandments inside the ark. And there I will meet with thee, and I will commune with thee from above the mercy seat, from between the two cherubims which are upon the ark of the testimony, and of all things which I will give thee the commandment to the children of Israel. So if you want to talk to God, you come up to the ark, you make your sacrifice, you put blood on the mercy seat, and God's going to talk to you. And thou shalt also make a table of shittim wood, 2 cubits shall be the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof, and a cubit and a half the height thereof. And they're making the table of showbread. It's basically a table that you're going to put the bread on it. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold, and make thereunto a crown of gold around it. So that's also going to have a little bit of a skirt. And thou shalt make it unto a border of a handbreadth round about. And a handbreadth is if you take your hand and you look from the top where your thumb is to the bottom of your hand, that's going to be basically a handbreadth. And thou shalt make a golden crown to the border thereon around about it, so that's going to have a skirt around it. And thou shalt make for it 4 rings of gold, and put the rings in the 4 corners, there in the 4 feet thereof. And if over against the border the rings should be placed for the staves to bear the table. So this is always also going to have sticks put inside of it, so you could also carry it. And thou shalt make thy staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, and the table may be borne with them. And the idea is that this table is going to be set up for bread. You know, God says, you know, I'm going to give you your daily bread. Every day they're going to put fresh bread on here, because there always has to be fresh bread, because God's going to give them daily bread. And they shall make the dishes thereof, and spoons thereof, and covers thereof, and bowls thereof, to cover withal, and pure gold shall they make them. And they shall set upon table showbread before me always. So there's always going to be bread on this table. And they shall make candlesticks of pure gold. Of beaten work shall the candlesticks be made. His shaft and his branches, his bowls, his knobs, and the flowers shall all be of the same. And again, nobody really knows what this table of showbread or the candlesticks look like. There's just artist depictions. And 6 branches shall come out the sides of it. 3 branches of the candlesticks out on one side, and 3 branches of the candlesticks on the other side. 3 bowls made up to almonds, with a knob of flour at one branch, and 3 bowls made like almonds to the other branch, with a knob and a flour, so in the 6 branches that come to the candlestick. And in the candlestick shall be 4 bowls made of like almonds, and their knobs of like flowers. And there shall be a knob under 2 branches of the same, and the knob under 2 branches of the same, and the knob under 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches that proceed out of the candlestick. Their knobs and their branches shall be of the same. All shall be of one beaten work of pure gold. So it's going to be one big piece of gold beaten, just like the ark is going to be one piece of gold that's going to be beaten and shaped. And there shall make this 7 lamps therein, and they shall light the lamps thereof, and there shall be given light over against it. And the tongs thereof and the snuffdishes thereof shall be of pure gold. So the tongs you're going to use to light the candles, and the snuffdishes you're going to use to put out the candles, are all going to be of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold shall he make it, with all these vessels. And I believe a talent was like 70 something pounds. I want to say 77 or 75, but a talent is a big old bunch of gold, really heavy piece of gold. And look that thou make them after their pattern, which was showed unto thee in the mountain. So when God told him the pattern in the mountain, you're going to make it just like that. So that's the end of Exodus 25. Exodus 26 is going to be the next chapter. That's when God gives the instructions for the building of the tabernacle tent. Outside the tabernacle, there's going to be a tent. That's what the next chapter is going to be about. Again, if you have any questions, or you want me to come speak at your church, you can email me. Comment below you any questions you have. Make sure you like and subscribe. I've been told to say smash that like button. Also, if you find somebody that might find this interesting, please share it with them. Apparently it helps the algorithm. Anyways, guys, that's the video. On the bottom right is going to be Exodus Bible Study. Top right is going to be Genesis Bible Study. And in the bottom left is going to be a video that YouTube has decided that you guys might like. See you guys next time. Have yourself a great day.